Hey there, I've been up all night working on this awesome arena and it's looking pretty cool. It's supposed to be for Unity. That's why I'm using the character for scale. But anyways, the issue I had was I tried making like some sort of rails for the top here. The issue I had was constraining this. I figured out a way to constrain the rails to a path, actually to a spline, and then also constrain the rotation to this object right here. So that's what we're gonna be doing today. It's actually for reference purposes, but if it helps you out, that will be awesome. Alright, we'll start by creating a spline under shapes, probably a circle, top view. Okay, and then click out of it. Alright, perspective view again, and we'll just kind of scale this down holding shift so it kind of clones it to maybe a smaller circle for the wall, for the path, and maybe bring the circle up a bit. Okay, we select the one at the bottom and maybe add an extrude modifier to it, increase the amount for the height. Okay, alright, that's good enough. I'll convert this to an editable poly. Select the polygon. What's going on? Alright, select the polygon and set this, and okay, and just extrude this, put it downwards. Alright, so that's done, and to better demonstrate aligning objects on a path, I'll probably the left view and Z to zoom in, L for left and Z to zoom in. I'll just create a box here, and okay, and just move it so it's actually where we want. Okay, and maybe add some rotation so we have an axis there. Okay, so what's happening here right now, if I try to make copies of this box, it's gonna maintain its rotation and position and all that, so we're just actually copying it on a straight path. So if you want to make this go all around the circle, it would be a really tedious process of copying and trying to rotate it to match, and you'll probably lose your sanity trying to do all that. Okay, so what we do is, with the other circle we got, I mean, you don't have to, you could always create a circle after. You could always delete this one and go back to the top view and try to make a different circle, but I don't know, let's still go with the first one because it's probably easier. I'll just go back to the top view and scale it so it's kinda in the middle of the walls. Yeah, that's fine. Perspective view. Okay, so this circle right now is gonna be, we're gonna use it to constrain the position. Oh, first of all, let's actually use spacing. So I'll just show you, because I tried using spacing, the spacing tool. Go to tools and align spacing tool, and you'll have to pick a path, and it's that circle. You see, once you move the count, it doesn't really it just distributes it evenly, and it doesn't take up, it doesn't adjust the rotation or really actually follow the spline. So what I did was select the object, go to motion, this motion panel right here, and click on position. Once you hit position, you have to assign a controller, and you need to pick path constraint. There's a position, rotation, and scale here. You need to be in position and add a path, and make sure you select the circle. Yeah, okay, so the circle is selected. Okay, and one thing you'll notice is the rail actually goes in. That's because of its pivot point. So I'd suggest you do this before actually picking the constraint path. So affect pivot, and I'll just move that down so the pivot is right at the base, so it doesn't fall in. Because if the pivot is at the center, it's gonna try to align it with the pivot point. Alright, so there's that. So we have our path constraint here. Okay, you can see it's moving along that path. Even if you pull on the X, Y, or Z axis, it's still on the same path. Click out of it, and we'll clone this and move it to the center. Doesn't have to be accurate. It just needs a reference. The boxes just need a reference to look at while they're rotating. So repeat the same steps. Go back to motion, position, assign controller, path constraint, add path, circle. Okay, so it's gonna go on there, and right click. So that's done. Oh, come on. So that's done. Alright, so we now have to go back to rotation and click on this rotation right here and assign controller, and look at constraint, then okay. Then once you're here rotation, you're gonna use add look at target, and you click on the target. Alright, so you see it's now actually flat, but you could still see there's some sort of line here, raycast, whatever that is. Okay, so it's kind of lying down. It's kind of flat right now. So once you use W, you see the Z axis is facing up, so that means the rotation is on the Z axis. You could see it move right here. Oh, we'll just undo that. I did undo. Okay. Right, so we still have our path constraint. Yeah, okay. So rotation, look at constraint, look at target, select that, so it's lying down. You need to change the look at axis to Z and align to up node axis Z. Okay, so that's all you need to do, and if you move this around, it's gonna try to keep this object in focus right there. So you could actually duplicate. Oh no, come on. Let's freeze this. Alright, so you could actually clone this, copy. You could make maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 copies, whatever you want. Alright, just go ahead and make a few copies right here, holding shift to clone. Right, so that's how it's done, and it took me a while to figure this out. I tried the spacing tool, aligning, and what's that crap called, snapshot tool, and all that stuff, but this actually worked for me. If it helped you out, that'd be awesome. Just leave a like and subscribe, and thank you very much. Hey, I kinda left something out. So if your rotation doesn't seem right, remember you have your controller, which is this one for the rotation. You can move it about and it's gonna change its rotation, like because all these objects are just looking at it, you could use this to change its rotation, and you could use the spline you have. It could be a circle, it could be a line, or anything. And you could use the spline you have to... Oh, where's the damn spline? Alright, you could use the spline you have to change the... to translate the object. Let's change its position or some... Alright, that's it.